Okay, weekly water readings. This is where I'm at here. So we're going to start with Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio in that order. I'll start off with Pisces. You know how this works. I feel like every so often I need to say the spiel. It may not apply to everyone, may not resonate with everyone, and you might get bits and pieces here and there that fit and that don't. So just take that into account. It's a general reading, probably will apply to those in the Infinity Room. If you're not connected, check it out. Infinity Readings and Reviews on Facebook. Here we go. First card for Pisces. Again, these readings are going to be, my intent was somewhat spiritual. We're going to resonate a little bit in the depths and then go into intimate areas and see how that fits this week and see what we can come up with. I'm wanting to uproot some issues, if we have any, alert you to them so that you can fix them. There's a lot of energy here needing to focus on going in the right directions till fall here, especially when it comes to intimate relationships. So I'm wanting to highlight any misgivings that there may be so that we can go straight to them. A lot of people, I'm feeling, are getting removed from the issues. So I'm going to see if this reading can focus you back where your attention needs to go. So first card for Pisces, the chakra deck. I'm going into 3 cards and then I just slowly weasel my way into the intimate areas, and then we're going to end up on an animal card. So the first card is 20, Judgment. It is the second last card before the end of the deck, where we have a completion of a cycle here wanting to happen. That's what I'm getting. So it's also purple with blue, indigo, violet, all of those upper chakras. Well, blue can be highly influenced by intuitive abilities. Feel like that woman is an angel. She's blowing her horn in this direction. They may be trying to get a hold of your instinct here and getting you to work on something that I feel the attention is not on here. So be aware of that. We may have some instincts here that we're pushing off, is a sense I'm getting for the Pisces. Next card, Justice. Interesting. Blue, and this talks about speaking. Can also talk to ways that we communicate with others. Justified. We may be in communication and not using our instinct. We may be fighting for righteousness here, or balance. Fair play is what they said. Give me a minute. Though we're not, I think when they say we're not listening to our instinct, what it means is there's more here than meets the eye, and we need to pull that out as well. There's stuff hiding below the surface here that needs to be discussed, really brought out. Our instinct is alerting us to this, so we need to be aware of that. That's what I feel more than it's not justified. It's just that we're there's more here that needs to be put onto the table. It's really what I'm getting. Next card is the 6 of Cups. Sorry for the glare, guys. I don't know if I can still keep light here. 6 of Cups is about things of the past, nostalgia, again, thinking of things in the past. Justice talks to me of balance, looking to the past for balance or imbalance in the ways that we're dealing here with whoever you're dealing with. Usually there's an object that we're always dealing with. Sometimes it's not a partner, maybe someone else, but nonetheless, there's some instinct here. And you notice how the instinct, give me a minute to work this out here. The Justice is coming full on. I feel like this is what the Pisces is preoccupied with. Justified to me, right? Very much highly in the ego, I feel. But balance is always good, no matter. Now the Judgment, the yearnings of instinct here are going off in another direction. I feel like this is the Pisces looking for justice. They're going down the middle, and they're kind of warding off, right, with that sword. They're warding off all that energy of instinct. Don't feel it applies, but the energies they're giving me here is it will illuminate and help you get what you want in a justified way. There's a sense of not wanting to be vulnerable is really what I get. So, sorry, I got a little bit of an imbalance here. So yeah, the justice is really the Pisces from their inner core trying to find justice outside of them, whether it's in a partnership, whatever way, right? Trying to find that balance. Not necessarily spilling out all the beans is what I get here. We're just dealing with certain things. But there's a lot more under the surface that needs to be dealt with as well. Six of Cups is dealing with the past. So dealing with things in the past in this way. And this may have to do with that in some kind of way. So we're going to go one step deeper here into the wisdom deck and see what's going on. So on top of the Judgment, which I get highly, is being sidestepped. Like they're going just the facts, right? So the Pisces are feeling like there's only so much I can deal with. I don't want to drudge up all this other stuff. And again, there's an instinct here to pull it out anyway, but a resistance for the Pisces to do so. On top of the Judgment. 25, we have meditation. So this is interesting because to me this, okay. This talks to an energy that wants to come forth, but we may not be aware of it. We're aware of it, but we may need to calm the soul enough, right? So there's a sense here, the meditation is about slowing the peace and the calm, and I feel like the Pisces is not truly in their peaceful state at this time, especially when you're fighting for justice. You may not be in a bad time to say in riots, but you may not be in such a way. They take me out and they take me in because we're going personal here, not global. But nonetheless, meditation and calming ourselves, right, as in the world and what it's doing and erupting, we kind of need to go inside and calm ourselves to come out in a clarity where we can gain victory in a wholesome kind of way, is the sense I'm getting. The meditation will help you do this. Not only that, it will bring all of that stuff that your instinct is trying to bring to you. Because our focus is highly not on our instinct at this point, is what I'm getting. Though the music is in the air, is what they're saying. You know, we're playing in the air. It's not that they're playing away. They're playing in the air, and the Pisces just not wanting to hear the music. So they're focused on the judgment that they're making in their own life to balance. And in order to do this properly, the universe feels you need to tap into your instinct. How do you do that? Well, you get still, you meditate, you calm the mind enough. Get away from the hubbub, work and all that. You got to really make time to do this, and it will replenish you. I'm getting a lot of in mental ways. It'll bring up things that we really weren't on the path with the hecticness going on. I hope that's transferring. So on the justice, again, balancing things out. Watch for court. Are we going to court here? Is court in session? There's a sense here of maybe needing to needing the guidance of courts to settle things. This may be something that needs to be done or needs to be brought up here for some reason. So 12, conclusions. Yeah, interesting. That's on the justice here, because once we create our balance in whatever way we choose to do this, there will be a conclusion to a chapter in our lives here. Chapter 1 and the end. So there also, I'm getting a light sense that we may have looped. This may be a looping scenario where we have been through this before, this type of thing, or whatever it is, this chapter, this imbalance that we have. We've been through this before, and now a sense that we need to close the book here is, at least spiritually, that's the opportunity you're given. Whether you take it or not sure, but wanting to close the book on this cycle that we've done. And I don't feel it's like, oh, I just came from it, but it might have been right in our past that we had something very similar to the situation we're in now, and only it's gone further than it did before, and we'd let it go sooner. So there's kind of a question mark there as to why we let this go this far. So on the Six of Cups, what do we get? And it's about that past energy, needing to look into our past. Maybe that's where maybe we're dealing with what's in front of us here, which is good, but we need to look at what we did in our past in order to bring that forward to help us in the future. Because the sense they're giving me is we may be in a looping scenario, meaning we're repeating a pattern here of something that we actually in the past got rid of more quickly in our lives, right? So Six of Cups, what do we get to clarify? We get hope. Yeah. And isn't it interesting how dark that hope card is? Like a lack thereof, right? And I do feel like you do have to reminisce a bit, or you are reminiscing, but we're not coming up with answers here. Or maybe we're thinking of a time where, yeah, I get the Pisces may not be on the right track in the ways of, they're seeking justice in their life, but their mindset is a little in the dark. There's hope, because we're kind of trying to make our way forward, but again, not listening to our instinct to a degree. We feel very lightly treading. Yeah, we really need to calm ourselves down, get isolated a little bit. I mean, I know that sounds goofy at this time, but the sense is that we're kind of in a chaotic energy mentally. We may be calm on the outside, but mentally we're in chaos, and there's a lot of things we are attacking in our reality. But we need to calm our mind more to really kind of feel like we're not losing ground here. I don't know, it's very lightly splattered. It's hard to, but nonetheless, the chapter here wanting to close for the Pisces. They're looping. There's a looping pattern here they want to close the book. Universally want to do that. Now there's these eclipses coming. These are high tuned energies to give nudges to all of this stuff. Push this energy forward to get rid of it once and for all. So I need to kind of be still within one's own self in order for that to come forward for you. We busy ourselves up, and I don't feel a Pisces per se. I feel like there's just a lot going on now they're trying to deal with, and that is really what it is. It's the universal energies just shoving all the dust in the door, and then you got to sweep all that out. There's a big pile here. It's got to go. So we may have, left a lot of things to the last minute, this kind of thing. Again, these are weekly readings, but I'm getting a lot of long-term stuff here. So we're going to go another layer deeper here before we get into the intimacy areas and see if there's anything there. So the meditation, again, there's an energy of wanting to get instinct to come forward here. It's in the air, but we're just not picking it up, right? And I don't feel we're actively pushing it away, but it's just kind of being sidestepped, okay? So on top of that card, we get the Ten of Swords and conflict. Well, if that's what's going on, and again, there's a heart there to signify that there's conflict going on in a heart-centered kind of way with people that we care about, and that is really taking precedence, and that may be part of the chaos of the mind that we're having a hard time. There's an ending, right? Because 10 is the end of the cycle. And again, the chapter 1, the end. We want to close this and get it finished in order for your life to go smoothly. Because really over this time here, and again, I get highly guided, and I've starting to see little echoes of timelines I've been given. It was about 6 months ago. They were given me June 20th to 23rd, or July 20th to 23rd. These are highly pivot. I think they're high energy points for change. And if we don't change before those points, I feel that, chaos will ensue in certain people's lives. They don't listen to their promptings, inner prompting. Really, chaos will start to erupt in bad ways. So Little warning. I'm going to kind of spill through all the readings about that. And I'm getting validation outward. It may also be having to do with a lot of energetic frequencies that are going to change in our outer world as well. Maybe not so personally, but maybe in the outer world again with the corruption and whatnot being exposed. But nonetheless, 12, the end of the chapter, the conclusion that wants to happen. What do we get there? 8 of Wands, swift energy. And again, that's the energy that's going to come forward. These eclipses. Now we had one on the 5th. I had I have these goofy things that happen to me over eclipses. It's like someone pulls my energy plug and then they plug it back in. And depending on what, planets where, I don't know, then it it affects me differently. And this solar, I'm not going nowhere for that solar eclipse. It's coming. I think it's closer. I don't know, but I'll post some of these eclipses. I'll do that because if you are also of light, you will notice these fluxes in energy. And it may not be the same way that I do, but you will feel it and it will be highly influential for you. So again, I feel like they're harping on this. June, July, mid-June, July, and I mean, we're right on it here. There's swift energy coming in to change things. If we refuse to do it, there will be chaos that will kind of help you get to where you want to go. I feel like the energy's on the Pisces side, so we need to just tap into our instinct and know exactly where that's going so that we can go in the right way. On that hope card, again, I feel a lack of this. Hopeless is what they said. But again, there's some kind of nostalgia bubble here that's kind of holding us in the past. And we're in a really... how do you explain that? It's like we're trying to deal with something we want justified in our present. But we're thinking about our past instead of what's going on now in order to deal with it. And I feel like that's kind of where we feel hopeless. So that might have to be sorted out in a different way there. So on top of there, oh man, it's just about closing loops here. 2 of Pentacles, there's that snake chasing its tail and it's grabbed it and that's it. We're looping, right? So it's interesting to me. I feel like the Pisces is just not going to come out of it. And it's energetically, it is very prompting you to do this some kind of way. We got the moon and the sun, the heart and the energy frequencies. So, like night and day is a cycle that keeps continuing. It keeps happening. It's the same thing all the time. We're hoping for something different here. And the answers are in the past is what they said. We have the answers. We've closed a cycle in the past, but it's almost like they're giving me a sense, if this is relational, it's going to be no matter. It's like we had a relationship where we were cycling in some kind of a looping energy, not learning our lesson there. We go to the next one, the next relationship, okay, we don't cycle in that energy for whatever reason. Then we go to the next one, and that's the one we're in now. Then we cycle again. It's almost like we're kind of like the memory's so far away that we kind of don't even take it into account. But we really have to, either we have to look back to our past to find the answers how to deal with now, or we're living in the past and we're not dealing with the now. Something to do with that discrepancy there in some kind of way. Okay, so we're going to head into the romance side here and see what happens. So the first card on the romance is the 8 of Cups. Now this is interesting because I flipped the energy on this. I do that. Well, they made me actually go in there and they go read over the readings again and see how you feel, because when I get a tarot deck, I bring it home and I throw away the rule book and I look, and whatever vibrates for me, that's what I assign it. So I'll sit and I'll look at the card and I'll go, okay, what do I see here? That's what it means, and I lock it in energetically and I go through the deck. And for this one, it was about celebration, small gatherings with people close to us. And they wanted me to look up the meaning a while back, and it was actually about waiting. These people are waiting outside for other people to show up. So they want me to continue in that energy. And that is about waiting. So the Eight of Cups here, we're waiting on something. And again, are we waiting on someone else to make a decision to help us make a decision? This kind of thing. It's like we're waiting on someone to help us close a loop. Last week's reading was basically based on, what was it based on? They're telling me here. I have a bad memory. Yeah, it was similar. Go back to last week's reading, because that's what the loop they're trying to close is. It was highlighted in there. They're showing me going through the cards, but I can't remember what it was about. But it was about an energy that needed to go, and it was just not getting rid of it. Oh, yeah. It was about... wait until rock bottom. Yeah, they're showing me the well. Till we hit rock bottom, and this is what they're waiting for. So the sense here is, there's some swift energy going to come in here and change your mind on that. But nonetheless, next card, Five of Pentacles. Now, this is an interesting, long story kind of a card. This guy here, that's a harlot on his lap. And he's kind of sitting there going, like a hot potato, man. I gotta get her off. He's not impressed, right? He's got a lot of money, so she's jumping on his lap, like trying to take advantage of the situation, really. And this guy's just not impressed. So this may be a situation that you're sitting in. You're being taken advantage of for financial reasons, and maybe you're waiting on something in order to make a decision here, because the feeling here is very much that woman is jumped in his lap, and he's like, he's trying to hang on here before he throws her off. He's had a few drinks, so he's just not got his respect in line, and the sense is, if we take a picture a minute later, he's going to be pushing her out and saying, hey, give me another beer, get this harlot out here. Like, that's the sense they're giving me. So this may make sense to us in some kind of way. Okay, so the next card is the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about blocking the heart, right? Decisions of a heart-minded nature are going to be hard for us to make, is the sense I get. And again, the sash is covering up the heart, so it shows that we can be quite, we may be blocking our heart off to someone, or from truly feeling, is the sense I'm getting, in whatever way. So there's a sense here, the sash across the heart is really a blocking of the heart. So we may not have an open heart in this relationship. And if we're waiting for rock bottom, that may be a clue to that. Meaning, how do you express that? If we're in a relationship, we can't give our full heart. We're waiting for something to happen here to blow it apart. The Two of Swords, is about indecision. Not being able, like feeling kind of between a rock and a hard place here. So we'll expand one deeper here and see what happens. So on this waiting card, the new energy of the Eight of Cups, we have the Sun. This is interesting. This is about joy, happiness. They're going, look over there in the future. What can I have in the future? So the Pisces may be taking this into account highly. Things going their way in the future. They're thinking about it, which is the first step. This is good. Mental activity in a good way. So what do we get on top of this Five, where we're very, you may be the guy, you may be the girl. Whatever it is, whatever situation, someone's taking advantage of someone of privilege is really what's going on, and the other one is just not impressed, but they're not at a point where they're going to make a fuss, because they're just trying to be cordial, right, to a certain degree. But this guy's getting fed up pretty quick. So on top of that, we get the Ten of Cards, which is a very interesting. This does not match the energy that I get at all. So this may be what we're dreaming of, right? Because she's going, look, the future. This is what I want. I want my 10 of Cups. Do I have it here? Absolutely not. These two do not carry. They're not a couple. In fact, he is quite angered that this woman feels that she can just jump in his lap, right? He just doesn't want to be rude and kick her out. So this is the energy that we have here. So now I feel like this is where the Pisces really wants to go. Happy, be happy, joyful, things in the future, plans in the future. I feel like the Pisces is really looking forward to making plans where they're happier than where they are now. And again, there's a sense of not something going on there with not dealing with our present and looking to our past. So this may be us looking to our past when we were happier, or to our future when we're happier, but not dealing in the present necessarily, and looking for this. I feel this is what they're looking for. Now on the Two of Swords is that energy, the stalemate kind of card. Also, you know, the heart kind of sashed away, not dealing with that. On top of that, we have the Nine of Pentacles. That's interesting because that is the singles card. And this is the deal. If we are in a relationship, we really do feel we will be happier single. We may be already indulging in this to a certain degree, or even dreaming of this is what they said. They're dreaming of a day when they can be single. They don't have to deal with this harlot in their life. You know, kind of taking advantage of money situations, right? So you may have someone feeding off you in a financial kind of way. So go one more deeper, the Sun. So again, that's joy. That's all good things that we want. And I feel it's not in our present. It may have been in our past and it could be in our future, but it's not in our present. So the card on top of that we get is the Two of Wands. Now this is interesting because this whole line here is kind of the sense they give me is this is not what they're in, nowhere near, but this is what they're dreaming of. And Pisces is all about the dream, right? They're all in their head. So I feel like they've really kind of escalated taken themselves out of their reality, and they are now in dream time, and that is what's making them happy. So there is a sense we need to close a chapter, because once you start doing that in the mind, we can't make it this situation that we've got in reality is actually going to bring us down. That, how do you say, yeah, I'm not going to use that word. They're giving me like juxtaposition, the offness of it, the up and the down. She's up in her head, but she's way low vibrational in her relationship or in her current, so that cannot be. It cannot be. So something's going to blow that apart. If we don't make a move to go towards this happy, because that's where the universe wants you to go, they're going to create something that's going to help you do that. But don't depend on that. Do it before it happens, because when they do it, it can be, if we've put it off too long, it can be chaotic. So anyway, there's a warning. Okay, so on the Sun, right, this is about the Two of Wands. Now, isn't that interesting? We think about joy, we think about meeting a new partner and becoming intimate with a new partner. We may have one on our mind, but the sense here is this card holds the energy of getting to know a new person intimately, on an intimate level. Yeah, I'm not going to say no more about that. Now, on the Ten of Cups, this is really what the Pisces is dreaming about. This is interesting. This is more the energy I'm picking up. It's the Seven of Wands. And I feel like this is fantasy versus reality. Fantasy, reality. This is what's going on for the Pisces, okay? Sword of Truth there. There's some truths that need to be told, and I feel they're telling me from the Pisces end as well, but unaware of this. Need to be going to a partner here. We may be in a situation where we're not having any intimacy with a partner, and there's her looking out the window dreaming, completely disconnected mentally and physically from the partner. But again, some truths need to be told in the relationship in order to, I mean, the cards behind it were closing chapters here. So again, dreaming of and reality. So the Nine of Pentacles is simply the Pisces in a mode where I am happier by myself. I like being by myself. I wanna, I don't feel burdened, this kind of thing. And again, it may be in a financial way. The next card there, wow. The Nine of Cups is really an advancement, even though we're in different elements here. Wands is fire and Cups is water. This is really, okay. So we may be dreaming of a new partner, because this is a new physical connection that we're warming up to, or getting to know, to get into the mode of being in a new physical partnership. This one here is a new intimate. Like, look how much closer. They're very much intimate. This one here is just kind of flirting with it, right? They're getting to know each other, and the flame is just starting to burn. I mean, here we know what's going on, nothing. And this one here is about, you know, so we may be being drawn, we may have an opportunity to be drawn in different direction. This may be the chaos that ensues that kind of pushes us in a new way. We may have a new direction in a love zone that kind of tips us over the edge, where we're needing to go anyway here. Things just aren't working, is the sense I'm getting. Or, you know, there's a chapter here needs to be closed. It's not closed, so in comes a new intimate partner here that we could possibly gain headway with. Sorry, my mouth's not working all of a sudden. Okay, so as we go one more deeper, so to clarify the Two of Wands, and again, that's that could be dream time, right? We could be dreaming of a new partner, or dreaming of what it would be like to get into a new partnership, one that is balanced, right? Because they're showing me that what is it, judgment? No, justice card again, right? Trying to balance everything and make it equal. This is, I feel, this card here is about gaining that. They want to gain that on an intimate level as well. They want to feel loved and cared for. They may not have got any of that in this relationship. To the degree where we're flirting and the excitement, right? So on top of that, we get the Time card. So that always talks about time passing. Now again, going back here, this is our joy. This is what we're dreaming about, a new connection. And in time we will gain this, but there may be some truths that need to be told in the circles that we're running here in whatever way. So intimate partner, obviously. So on top of the no sex zone here, this is interesting because we get 28. So if we are in a partnership where we are not having any intimacy, and that's the sense that I get from this card, there's too many truths either that have been told and people are pissed off, or too many truths that need to be told and people are sensing this kind of thing. Something's going on here that has created this. Now we have 28, the waiting man. Now interestingly enough, he's looking at that clock, and the sense I'm getting is there is a partnership here waiting to come in, but because we are dragged down in a lower frequency vibration and we can't get rid of it, that man is still waiting. Now, when I see him look at the clocks like that, I feel like he's waiting, but he doesn't know he's waiting. Meaning, universe is holding him back, okay? So he knows that he's got to go in a certain direction to meet this woman. Again, this is fated. So it's like, you know, upstairs, you know, they're all pulling strings trying to get these two together, and they're going, well, we can't let them go because this Pisces not let go of their partner, so we got to keep them busy. We got to keep them in that relationship, or, you know, and they can only hold it back so long due to free will. So if we're really feeling instinctively we need to go because there's someone waiting to come in. And I'm hoping this doesn't happen to a lot of people, but I see that it absolutely will. People will only hold on for so long before they go. And the sense here is we could have one that gets missed because we held on to something too long on this end, and this one had to go in another direction, got caught up in another direction. So then it's a missed. We just miss out. So I feel like that's going to happen for the Pisces here, unfortunately. Now for the Nine of Cups, that's about new intimacies, new partnerships. And again, there's a high sense of dreaming of this, wanting to be single so we can gain this, right? Being intimate in different kinds of justified ways for the Pisces. Now the next card is the sailboat. That is about travel, and isn't that interesting? Since they're giving me, this is the traveling of the mind. Again, not dealing with our reality, because our reality is we are unhappy where we're at, but our mind is keeping us with these dreams. But what the Pisces doesn't realize is these dreams are really an energetic pattern that comes from your fate, and it gets pushed. And if you follow your dreams, they will come to light. But the Pisces is not given that credit, so they're going to stay where they're at. Okay. Now, on top of the 37, which talks about time, it could be divine timing here. And again, keeping that in mind, because we could actually miss the train here, or miss the boat. We could actually do this. So we'll get into the heavy sex cards again. 18 plus. Beware, some of them are pretty raw. So on the 37, talking about time, we have, yeah, this is kind of my favorite card. The 9 of Wands. Now, the story. There is a man here. Now, it's interesting. He is looking upon this scenario, so keep that in mind, the man in the future. There's a man up here of privilege. He's looking down on this woman. She is a harlot. She has just come out of a session here that was a little rough from one of her clients. And so she is trying to get herself put back together. And this man from above is looking down on her, wondering whether he can take advantage of her, or whether he should be righteous and go down and help her. So there's a sense here that there's someone here that could do right or do wrong to us. Okay, so be aware of that energy. It's heavy. So on top of 28, this waiting man, again, the scenario we are in with our partner, I do not feel these are the same people. Feel like we have a partner we need to let go of somewhere here. And there's a partner in waiting to come in fate-wise. And this partner may have that energy attached. They may look at you and go, well, I could take advantage of this, or I could help this person. So they could help or hinder you. It's kind of their free will to make that decision. So on top of the 28, we have the 10 of Pentacles. That's interesting, because that's a man proposing. So we may have a proposal here that's on the platter, or we may have a marriage that's ending in divorce. Let's go forward and see where this takes us. So on the boat, right? Missing it? Because I feel like somebody's going to miss the boat here. Somebody, somewhere. What was the energy behind that? Yeah, it was intimacies with a new partner. The ship moving, about movement, travel. It may be someone at a distance. I feel like that's attached to this person. There may be someone at a distance here that has interest in us. But nonetheless, there's a marriage here, or an engagement, or something in the mix here. Now, on top of the 3, the ship, we have the 9. Now, another story behind this one. This is Casanova's. She was kind of a maid, right, for him. And she was always around, and she would always make him feel better. Yeah, make him feel better. And he fell for her, obviously, right? We're going into the sex zone here. He made her feel better, but he did kind of have feelings for her, but not as much as she had for him. So there's a scenario here like this, okay? There's someone here, he has very fond feelings of her, and very much, right? But she was, again, talking about balance and justice here. She had way more emotion and depth and warmth for this man than he had for her. So keep that in mind here. Somewhere there's an engagement either waiting to happen or waiting to blow, or a wedding that is significant here, and somebody's not balanced in emotions. And there's a lot of cards here for taking advantage of someone that they perceive as less than them. There's a perception here from this man that he, like, you know, on many levels, that he is higher than her, earns more money, or, you know, whatever. So a sense of taking advantage in some kind of way. So the last three cards we're going to kaboom here with the infinity cards and see where it goes. 9. So on top of that advantage card, we have, well, codependence. So this may be why we are having a hard time leaving this relationship that I feel is in crux here. We may be codependent. We may depend on them for something that is not love, and they may depend on us for something that is not love, and therefore we are staying together in not love. Now, on top of the marriage card or engagement here, 10 of Pentacles, we have a past. This is interesting because this talks about, usually it talks about making a pass at someone. You know, when you make a pass, what do you call that? Like a come online, whatever. It's about going outward to do that. So this may be what's coming across here. I don't feel it's coming from this person way back here. I don't feel that, but maybe it was at one point, or maybe it is. Maybe it's a last ditch effort. This person's going to come forward to the Pisces and say, will you marry me, as a last ditch effort, and then but I really don't feel that Pisces is going to bite on that, because they're just not happy. They're really so not happy. I don't see them, like, it. The energy's not right for that, but nonetheless, there it is. So a pass will be made in the form of some kind of a marriage proposal that could be on the platter. Okay, now the next card here, talking about travel again. I feel like someone's maybe at a distance here, and I feel like it's attached to the energy of the person coming in. So there may be a situation here where we're in a codependent relationship. We're not happy with the way things are, and there may be someone outside, a person of interest, we'll put it that way, that we're starting to dream about in our head, that we could go in that direction. There may be that. Now, on top of that energy, we get the code. This is my least favorite card in my deck. Give me a minute here. That's interesting, because this talks about, yeah, someone being around each other a lot, but again, an unbalanced. One person is more infatuated than the other, and here it's the girl with the guy. So just someone is not balanced, but I feel like the Pisces is aware of that. So wherever you sit. Now 29 is the code. Now that talks about secrets that we take to the grave. Just nobody gonna know. So it's interesting that it's on the card of the imbalance in the relationship, because the sense is here, they're not going to ever know that there's an imbalance. They're not going to ever know, whoever that Casanova doesn't feel. They're just going to fake it. I don't know. We'll continue on. The last card is an animal card from my new deck here. Divine Animal Oracle. Let's see if I can put that up here. These are cool cards. So we'll see what that's the overall energy here to keep in mind. And the card we get is, yeah, the red fox. Not good. Well, it's good, but it's not good. And the word they give here is strategy. So yes, it's very highly connected to this card. There's a strategy being used by someone here to take advantage of a situation, and we may be marrying for money, we may be marrying for privilege, we may be marrying for reasons other than love. Why? Because there's codependence here to a high degree. We have people taking advantage of situations, but it is not balanced. It is not balanced. One person is getting more here, but that mum's the word on who that is, because they're not going to say. In fact, they're going to try and fake it. Okay, so when we have the fox here, there's a high strategy here. They're going to pull this off. And it may be through marriage that they do this. The proposal of marriage is going to solidify that lie that they tell in whatever degree. Now, it's interesting to me, the fox is looking up and he's got clear skies, and then there's a woman underneath. It kind of doesn't know what's going on up there. And that's the sense I'm getting. And I feel like the girl with the umbrella is the Pisces. She's kind of not, she has her instinct intact, she can use it. She's not tapping in. She's too busy. And again, I don't feel it's intentionally busy. I just feel she's not taking the time to look this over in the ways that she needs to find the clues here. And she ain't going to get it, especially from the partner. If it's a partner here that's, and I feel that highly, she's not going to get it from the partner. And she has to understand the codependency that she holds in the relationship. That might be a clue or indication where to look, because the codependence is what is holding her there. So as soon as she can gain her independence, she can be free of it all. But if she doesn't, she'll be tricked into something where she just will be at an imbalance for the rest of the remainder of the relationship, is what they said. So, which is, you know, some people, they just are naive and they don't ever realize, and some people are content with that because they've been imbalanced for so long. So just be aware of that. There's a cycle here that wants to complete. I feel the Pisces is waiting for rock bottom to hit, and we might have a surprise here, because it might come in the form of an engagement or a pass upwards, which they don't expect. And that is strategic for that other partner, because there is something that they benefit highly from you, but they do not. One or the other is not. And I feel it's the partner of the Pisces not giving equally. So be aware of that. Okay. That's interesting. That is Pisces 4639. Okay. This is Cancer. So again, same thing. Here we go. First chakra card. 2 swords. What do you know? Stalemate. Orange energy. Creativity. There's a lot stuff coming here. Yeah. this Cancer here that I'm picking up on, or the Cancer energy that I'm picking up on, is highly in a mode we do not want to see, because we do not want to make decisions. This is not our forte. So we are being blinded on purpose. They're going, no, I'm not looking there. I'm not looking there. Like, if there's errors being made, they're omitting them. It's okay. Don't matter. I don't want to be forced to make a decision. I don't want to have to decide anything. I feel like the Cancer's kind of checking out on being accountable for anything here. Next card is the Sun. It's interesting because the Sun is being illuminated and she's looking in the other direction. And the sense here is we have to pay attention to these things that are jumping up in front of us here, because those are the things that are going to get us our happiness. But we're refusing to look at that. So there's no possible way we can get our happiness if we look over there, right? Because the Sun is rising here, it's setting over there. Darkness over there. What's going on? Okay, Cancer, here we go. Next card. Queen of Coins. That is about making the money, feeling solid, having nice things, being surrounded by luxury, right? This kind of thing. That's a good card. That's where the Sun sets. We have a lot of nice things we can be proud of, is the sense they're giving me, and things that can make us happy. But we're not looking in that direction. We're looking at things that are making us unhappy. So what is that? Now, top of the 2 of Swords to clarify, we have focus. And that's the sense here is focus. Well, we have to take the blindfold off first, then we can focus. And there's no... there's a sense of safety that these Cancers are feeling with their blindfold on. So they don't want to utilize their eyes at all. Again, decisions I don't want to make. So there's this sense here of needing to focus. So in order to focus, we got to get the blindfold off. So again, being blind to things, they're wanting you to open your eyes, see what's in front of you, and deal with that, right? So the Sun here, about what is highly aspected, because we can get Sun on the other end. We just have to deal with our present in order to gain that insight. Now, On top of that, we get rigid. Now, this is interesting because this is what shuts out the darkness. We have a wall put up. And it may be in the heart, right? Obviously, right? Because that is the generator. We think it's the mind, but it really does all the energy frames around the heart. Our mind kind of categorizes it, but our heart is the power source. And the sense with this rigid wall is putting up that wall in defense against others, So the sense here is, if I remove this, right, we are being blind to something. Why? Because we put up our walls so high, we just refuse to look. And they're going, that's not going to get us anywhere spiritually. So there's a need to focus, and that fire an arrow and knock these things off. We got to look at it in order to get rid of those things that are not making us happy or we don't want to see. We really do have to look at them, take them out, get rid of them. If they're in your life, if we don't look at them, we can't get rid of them. We can't acknowledge, right? So yeah, that wall is simply that. It's just a brick wall that we've got up so high that it's starting to darken our own life. Queen of Coins is all that we have. We have a lot to be grateful for, is what they said. Physically, right? Because the Queen of Coins is all about what she can hold, touch. We've got things we may be living not in luxury, but in sustenance that is really good compared to most people. So they're wanting you to be aware of that, wanting you to acknowledge that in your own life is kind of taking a sidestep for the Cancers, not realizing that we have a lot to be grateful for. And then we get the Grove, which is about healing. So there are certain things here. I mean, we're going to get into the intimate areas, talking about healing, and again, walls being high, right? How do they get there? Because of abuse. Because of how we've been treated in some kind of way creates that wall brick by brick. We put it up because we've been hurt brick by brick. So there's a need to, yeah, they're going, that wall's just not coming down. But there's a need to at least look at what we have in our life here in order to start taking things out in that way. And then once we do that, then we will feel, they're going, we guarantee you will feel more at ease to start taking these bricks off, you know, because that's what that crow wants to do. They want to start taking those bricks off. Why? So they can get to the other side. They don't have to go up and down. They can go right through. And the Grove is about the healing, the time alone, and the time to introspect all of that energy. So on top of the focus, taking things out, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is an interesting card in this deck, right? There's a fortress there. There's a lot of little bit of symbolism, right? King's Castle, right? It's completely open. There's a little maze in there. There's a big gate to go in, a little gate to go out. We do not know how to get out of this situation. We do not know. The word here is universal law. Now, the Four of Pentacles in the traditional deck talks about things that we hold, like greed and stinginess is what it usually comes up with. But this talks about universal law and protection and safety, right? Because they have, do they show a moat here? But the symbolism is like a moat around, and, you know, the bridge and all of that. So there's a sense of trying to keep ourselves safe by doing this, right? By being blind to things. But in reality, what they're saying is it's just not doing that. We need to take these things out in order to be safe. Because if we keep denying that they're there, it will become a safety issue. So there's something to do with the realization of this within our lives here. On the rigid wall that we have erected in the direction of the heart, I feel we have the Knight of Wands. That's a strong lead, taking risks. This is a man that is taking a risk here. Aries, Leo, Sag may be prominent here. They may be trying to break down our walls in some kind of way. Will we allow them to do this? The feeling I get is no, we will not. And you know, if this continues, then that man will just carry on. It will just carry on. They do not linger for very long, especially if there's trouble. So there is a wall here, maybe in complete defense of this Knight of Wands. Somehow he's charging in there. Good luck getting in. Well, he may get in, but good luck getting out. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Maybe may mean different things to different people. The Grove, again, that healing. There's some healing here on a deeper level that needs to happen. They're going, the one thing to start that is to be grateful for what we have, because we are focusing on the bad. So focus on the good, the present, deal with your present so we can fix that and move forward. We have the Emperor. That's strong Aries. And look at the line of command here. We get a lamb. So somebody here is playing a lamb to this Aries. I feel like you may have an Aries in your life that you are building up walls to. And the sense I'm getting here is this person does have an in, but the out is blocked, whatever that means. Now the in can mean into your heart. The out can mean problems within that, like there's something to do with the in and out here, because they keep showing me the big entrance and the little exit. So it's almost like maybe this man can get in the heart, but are we looking for an exit once they get in our heart, or do we not want to be in this fortress with that person? What's going on? Something off here. But this Aries here, this fire sign, is trying to get through this wall, is the sense I'm getting. And if we have the Emperor backing, he's quite stubborn in this. Okay, moving on to the romance side. On top of that fortress, we get the Four of Wands. Now the Four of Wands is about celebrations, weddings, could be attending a wedding, could be getting married, this kind of thing. Are we in fear of marriage? That may be one thing, because this is us being in our safety. Or do we feel safer in a marriage? We may have a partner here that's gotten into our heart, but we're not married, so we don't feel safe within that relationship. Is that something we have to deal with? Is that what we're being blind to? We don't want to deal with. Do we have a proposal on the table? There's a lot of stuff coming here. Do we have a proposal on the table, and that there's somebody feels like you could make them feel safer, and somebody feels like they want to escape. So whoever you are in that scenario, something to do with the marriage. Now this fire sign coming forward quite quickly to he's right on top of that wall trying to bash it in. What do we get there? We get the Three of Wands. This is so interesting, because that's about a marriage and that's about an engagement. And isn't that the wrong way? Shouldn't it be this the engagement first and the marriage next? Interesting. Or do we have a partner here that is married and needs to get I don't know what's going on here. This is crazy. Three of Wands and the Four of Wands, but the Four's first and the Three's next, because this is engagement, right? Three of Wands, that's what it is. Oh, I'm so flattered, thank you, I feel so good, you know, da da da. And then the Four of Wands, them walking down the aisle, taking it down the aisle. So that's on. So maybe it's maybe the Cancer here wants marriage, and maybe the fire sign coming in here is wanting to give engagement, like is on the same path. They're either going to make an engagement happen or seeing it in the same way. So we're on the same vibration anyway. We're going to get married, or something to do with that. So on that Emperor energy, breaking down walls and breaking on through to the other side, meaning marriage, from going from, whoops, my screen went, going from insecurity. It may be someone feels very insecure, and until they're married, they don't. So this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to be created. So on top of that is interesting. We get the Queen of Pentacles. Now, let me just look at something here. Was that not? Yeah. That was the same in a different deck. These are the same card, like same women. Queen of Coins, Queen of Coins. That's what they are from the chakra deck. So give me a moment. Queen of Coins. That's her with all her lush surroundings. Now we're talking about some healing that needs to happen here. And it may be in a financial kind of way. It may be with our things. Maybe there's something maybe we're too attached to our things that we need to heal from that in order to gain relation. I don't know. I'm reaching here. That Aries energy, and again, someone wanting to take control here and either, walk down the aisle or or be walked on one of the two. And again, they put the Queen on top. And the Queen there, she is really the be-all end-all. She's the one that can run a job. She come home, run a household. She can, be with the kids all day and be successful in that. And calm, cool, collected. She just can handle anything that comes at her. And she doesn't get frazzled. She just deals with things. Now the Aries is a little more not cantankerous, but well, they can be, but more explosive. They're more action oriented. They're more get up and go. Not that the Taurus or the Earth energy can't handle that in the long run, but the fire energy is a lot more. Let's go. Let's do. Let's be. So there's a sense that yeah. There's a sense of needing to mention that. So now we're going to head into some more cards here. Okay, so on top of that wedding card, walking down the aisle, look at this stuff. We get the Three of Swords. So did we have a wedding or an engagement that went wrong? Because we got heartbreak here. This is weird. Three of Wands. On top of that, we get the Nine of Wands. Yeah. Having a lot of struggles here that we've had to put up with or deal with. We've had some heartbreak. I feel like it's a broken engagement. Either someone was going to get engaged and they never, or they were asked to be married, but then they called it off. Something like that. Like we were going to go, or the date maybe was set because of this COVID stuff, and then they had to stop it. And not just because of the COVID, but there's other stuff going on. We got heartbreak here. So the Nine of Wands is about, putting a lot of work and effort in. She's building all those wands behind her, and she's going to keep going, keep trudging forward. The wounded warrior, but they keep moving forward. And that's on the energy of the engagement. So by wounded could be we've had heartbreak here, but we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep pushing forward. We got to remember that the Knight is behind here pushing. So yeah. So there. On the Queen of Pentacles, again, about the nice things we are surrounded by. And we have the Four of Cups. This is interesting. We're just somebody's not having it here. We got a lot of energy for being able to handle things. And then kind of like a seclusion away. And we started with the first card here, which is, again, this is kind of, at least she's got her eyes open, but she's really not interested anyway. So it's an advancement, but are we making any decisions? No. Are we taking an action? No. Definitely not taking action. So there's a sense of depression because of heartbreak within a relationship here, but we're going to keep trudging away is the sense I'm getting. Okay, so I'm going to move a little further here. I think I got to take out some cards. Take out these ones and we'll keep going. So on the sex side, see what happens in the intimacy. We have the Two of Pentacles. Now the Two of Pentacles is about, it's like sage burning, right? Can be about surprise. I always attune this card to mean surprise, how do you say, visits, or surprise gatherings, or get-togethers, or whatnot. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's really what it is someone's being surprised here in a romantic kind of way. So we may have that Knight of Wands coming in to surprise us, kind of bring down our wall a little bit, create a date night or something here to get rid of all the negative energy, because they're showing me that smoke, and it's like, yeah, we want to get rid of negative energy here, and we gotta try and do that in some kind of way. And it's almost like he's gonna go at her and say, okay, let's go out, or hug her or something, right? Surprise her with something. So the next card we get is the Six of Pentacles. Again, there's that depression card, having a drink, and it just, you know, everything's disheveled. And always what I notice from here is the apple that's cut in half and then it's tied together, and that really signifies that Three of Swords, like that heartbreak that we had, but we're still trying to kind of plug through. It's not doesn't condone well, no, doesn't bode well for the future. She's kind of investing in the drink at this point, and the man's behind her, and she's kind of like had enough. She's got tears in her drink, right? So the next card is Judgment. Now this is interesting, because to me, with the energy I'm getting here, it could go either way. Because the sense here is we got someone in high disappointment, not wanting to be there, and someone that wants to get married. So I don't know who's depressed and who's not depressed, but somebody here is really not happy. And the Judgment here, the sense here is that these two people are going to be tied together. Yeah, okay, they're clarifying. They're going, that is not the Knight of Wands, this one. Okay, just give me a minute. Thank you for that, because I was going down that train. There is a dude here, one that we want to get rid of. We're going to be surprised by a new dude. Okay, this is a new guy. We're unhappy with this guy, but this guy, I get the feeling that the universe is trying to tie us together. So we may be, again, in flux here to a high degree. We got heartbroken by someone, and there's someone here faithfully to mend our wounds. And it may be something that ends up in walking down the aisle, okay? This energy. This surprise that comes out of the blue may end up drying our tears, and the universe is going to highly tie these two together, is the sense I'm getting. So this may be someone who's lightly dating someone but been heartbroken and kind of on the way to someone else, that kind of thing. Maybe more of that energy. But marriage was on the platter is the sense, but marriage may be on the platter but not for that one, for a new one is what I'm getting for the Cancer. Wow. Okay, so anyway, that is that. Next, on top of the two, what do we get? On top of the surprise, we get 43, which is the Mage, which talks about confusion. And again, I don't feel like, well, obviously this is a surprise. So this is going to be someone that we may be confused as to how they feel about us. This is a new person. They're going, this is the new person. There's a new person coming into the picture. So we may be confused by this person, or how they, things about this person and what they want from us, this kind of thing. Now on the Six of Pentacles, what do we get? Yeah, 15, the polar bear. That's about trudging through snow and ice. This is pushing forward through things that are very unpleasant. There's a lot of ice shards. I mean, the polar bear is kind of built for it, but he's trudging through like a lot of submersible stuff here that could cut him up. So that's that. Now on the Judgment, and that is about tying two people karmically together. Yeah, they're going, we may be in this and we may be getting untied and retied with someone else. Okay, so be aware of that. Because where we're disappointed, untie, and this new surprise coming forth will be the new tie. So someone's going to come in the picture here and make us a little more happy, is the sense I'm getting. We may be depressed about where we are in our lot in life, and they're going, even though we have a lot to show for it, but yeah, certain areas. Now we have the bridge 38, which talks about the bridge to that other person, right? The sense here, when we have the bridge, it means whatever difficulty we think we have now. Okay, how do I filter that? There's a sense here that the Cancer is in a place where they're unhappy with the partner. Sorry, excuse me, it's late. I only have time at night to do the readings. They only have, like, this Cancer is not happy where they're at. They're not dealing with the reality of where they're at, first of all. But things will be overcome, and the sense that I'm getting is that it may be avoided altogether. We may have problems in the relationship we've had. We've had some heartbreak here to a high degree, and a sense is that we're not dealing with it, not putting, not working our way through it, nothing's happening there. We're just trudging forward through all of that stuff, but avoiding confrontation, avoiding all of these things. The sense they're giving me with the bridge is the bridge to that new person. We will not deal with any of the stuff that we have created in this relationship, but we will bridge to another. Though there is some confusion as to this new partner coming forth, we may be either confused that they like us, or how we're going to get together, or how we're going to get out of the relationship we're in to get in it. I don't know what the deal is there, but there's this sense here of confusion coming forth from someone out of the blue here. Okay, so on the 43, as we get into the intimacy, again, 18 plus, 11, that is the Page of Cups. So that is about offerings coming forward. Invitations. Hey, come, come with me, let's go do stuff, I want to be around you, Smaller offers, things like that, like, I want to be around you, let's go do stuff. It may even be apologies. This guy's very honest and open, and he's not wearing a mask, so he's very, what you see is what you get, and there is no, yeah, they're going, there is no maze here, but we may look at this person and go, put confusion in there where there need not be. Because this page is very upfront and, what do they call that, vulnerable, and again, it's wears his heart on his sleeve, that kind of thing. But again, it'd be a little offer like, come join us, or do this, or I want to be around you, that kind of stuff. So on 15, the trudging away that we're doing in this relationship that's depressing us, what do we get there? We get the Tower, and that's interesting because I always notice that the Tower in the intimate, like in the Casanova deck, is fully erect and no cracks. So I take that to mean like the phallic symbol, right? So intimacy in a hardcore kind of way. Now it's interesting to me, it's on top of the trudging away and the depression. So the sense here is that we may trudge away and be intimate with our partner even though we're highly depressed and not satisfied and So that's sad, but that's what I'm getting. Now 38 again, this new partnership that wants to be, one wants to be unplugged and another one wants to be plugged in. There is a bridge here, like the universe is going to help you do this, even if we haven't dealt with. They're going to help you go, because that's where the love and caring is. So we have 19, which is the Sun, and that is, yeah, that's about traveling to a lover and going. It's the Sun card, but in the book, it's kind of like the Six of Swords, where we're traveling through the night to meet our lover. So this can denote an affair as well. Someone kind of moving through the night secretly, right? The only guy that knows is the pagoda. I can't remember. I get them mixed up. The guy driving the boat. He's the only one that's going to know the passenger, right? And then he takes him in, and then he brings him back home before sunlight or whatever, sunset, sunrise, and away you go. So that literally a bridge. So it may be not clandestine, but maybe on the down low. This new connection that comes in. But again, a sense of vulnerability from this guy. He's really kind of not going to make up stuff to a degree where he's all heart. Okay. So on top of there, we get news. Yeah, which is very interesting because that would be the surprise. We get news from this person. So we may get a text or an email, or I feel like it's going to be like, hey, like, you know, they're going, look at the cards. Yeah, right, because the physical. So they're going to bump into each other. But there's going to be news. We're going to be confused when we first bump into them. It's like, oh, like, should I go or should I not? Or should I listen or should I, like, we don't trust, right? Because we have walls, right? So be aware of that. There's news coming forth from someone here. That is true of heart. Now on the erection, again, there's a erection. Sorry, I did say that. Okay, we'll go back. Graceful, Shauna, be graceful. Okay, Six of Pentacles. That is about the disappointment that we're feeling, the sadness we're feeling in the relationship, to the point that somebody might be drinking to get away from the feelings, all of this stuff. Not great. 15 is the Bear. They're trudging away, pushing forward, and yeah, they're going, the protection is attached to this card as well. So there's a sense here that we're feeling protected, but we're highly depressed. I don't know. Maybe that's a codependency thing. We feel like our partner's protecting us, but at the same time, we don't feel happy. Okay. The next card is that Tower. That, again, I feel like that is the intimacy that may still be going on here. And again, it is the Tower energy, so it can hold a sense of, and they're showing me back to this card here, the surprise. This may be the surprise, and this may be the Tower destroying the past relationship with the new relationship that we kind of jump into. Then we have, consequences. The dominoes fall here in a certain kind of way. I feel like it is in a way of a stepping out on a relationship that's highly dissatisfying for us. That's what I'm getting. Now on the Sun, the bridge, right? And the lover that gets boated over, but drops him off, picks him up in the morning, and he goes back before sunset. Sunrise. Pace yourself. Be aware of that. This is always about timing and also about being graceful with things. Don't jump too quickly. Though this is fated and maybe karmic as well, just pace yourself, because we may feel it may be a higher soulmate that is feeling a high attraction to, so we may have to watch how we deal. So the Animal card to tie up the Cancer's reading is, sorry, there's lights here, bad. Oh, look at protection all the way through. There's something to do with these Cancers and their feeling of protection. Either they're feeling like they need a man around to protect them, this may be what it is here. We feel like we need a man around to protect us, but it's not the right man. It's not a man that makes us happy. It's just a man. It's just a figure, and that's what's depressing us. Now it's interesting because they have the Lioness with the Ankh, and it talks about the protection and a sense here. Look at the Queen, right? The head. They're making me look at that crown. Like we are the Queen. We got lots of Queen cards here. We have an Emperor there holding ground, but we are a Queen twice over, and she is the ultimate Queen that everybody wants. The Queen of Coins. That's the one that can do everything. She is not left out on any level. She is the be all end all. And they're going, that is you. That is, you can protect your own self. And they're making me aware of the Ankh. And the Ankh really is about enjoying life to the best of your ability. And they're going, we are not doing this. And we can protect ourselves. We can move forward, and we need to do this. But pace yourselves, because there's somebody coming in the picture here to kind of blow this whole scenario up. And that's really what's going to be happening until fall. These people that aren't, well, some will be missing the boat. The Pisces here was missing a boat. But here we're getting one that's, the boat's coming right to our doorstep, going to bump into us and invite us out somewhere. And we're going to fall in. But it's fated, and it's meant to take us in a new direction. That's the sense I'm getting. It's meant to pull us away from this energy, because it's just depleting us to a degree that is not healthy. So the lioness is about protection, and that's the overall energy. Seems to be the, I say bee's knees, but that seems to be what is on the Cancer's mind here. Protection. So get it figured out. Look at what was going on here and move in the direction. I feel like they're really not going to do that before it's time, and the universe will show you the time by putting that partner, that new partner in, and then it's just going to be on, man. It's going to be on. But the protection will be taken care of on a lot of levels. But the sense they're giving me is we need to start thinking about our own ways to protect ourselves. And we don't have to be overly zealous in that. We just have to feel it from inside, and it will emanate from there. So that's kind of law of attraction stuff. But again, I'm feeling it's being lost here. But again, we can do this energetically and protect ourselves. But I feel like the Cancer's in a mode we're just not feeling safe for whatever reason. So it don't matter energetically. Don't wash with them. They just, you know, they need that fortress to feel secure. Where is it? I'm going to show it again. They need this to feel secure. They do not feel that energetically is enough, so they're on a different road there. So beware of that. Will create more havoc. Okay, I'm going to end there. So the lioness protection is high on the list for the Cancers this week. It's very heavy, but also there's like a light at the end of the tunnel here, and it's going to kind of bump into you when you least expect it. You're going to expect it now because of the reading, but pace yourself when it comes. Okay, that's all I can say. Okay, so that is Cancers 122, 35. These are heavy readings. Okay, Scorpio, here we go. First card. Again, 18 plus, we get into some heavy cards. It's not been too bad so far. Eight of Coins is the first one we deal with. Eight of Coins is about working overtime. Putting work in to build up finances. Could be build up finances or working on things to build, period, to have things. Next card, 10 of Swords is about feeling like you're being stabbed in the back here. Interesting how they put the yellow on the 10 of Swords, because the yellow is the solar plexus. That's all about how we feel joy and how we go outward towards others, So we are not feeling appreciated. We are not feeling valued. And in fact, we feel like someone's jabbing a knife or 10 in our back. I mean, it's not a laughing matter. But we are trying to build up our finances and work overtime nonetheless, is the sense. Next card is the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, a fierce energy, is going pretty quick in the future. Working on our finances. We've been hurt badly by someone, and we're looking to move forward in the future. So the Knight of Wands is really that energy of excitement and quick pace going forward. So what do we have to expand on the Eight of Coins? We have strength. So we seem to have a strength in how we make our money is what's going on here. We feel strong, going to work, paying the bills, building up the finances. This is what our strength is. So for whatever reason, this is being illuminated here. 10 of Swords, what do we got? Belonging. The House of Night, this is interesting. So the sense here is we may have felt like someone that we felt either we belong to or belong with has stabbed us in the back. So someone quite close, maybe even within our family or our household, has done us wrong in some kind of way. Now on the Knight of Wands, what do we get there? Wishing. There's a sense of wishing for things and wanting to gain them. Taking action to get them is really what it is. We are taking action to gain our goals, so why did we get cut down in the midst of it is what I'm getting. We're trying to gain our wealth here. Why are we getting shot out? Like, I'm getting a sense of frustration from the Scorpio. Like I'm trying to gain headway here. And now I'm getting stabbed in the back. I don't understand. They're not understanding why this is happening to them. So on the Strength card, we get the Princess of Swords ready to fight. Yeah, so there's something about money. Money is our strength. And we gotta fight. Okay. Just bear with me here. This energy's all over the place. There's a sense of betrayal from someone in our family or someone very close to us doing this. And a sense of it going dark. Like getting dark pretty quick. Like, because right away I seen the house is obviously black, right? And they're going, yeah, it's dark, right? It's dark. Heavy energy. So I don't know if that's from the Scorpio in the Judgment or from that person that's trying to stab us in the back. Right? It's dark, heavy energy. Either way, wherever that sits. On top of that card, we get the Three of Pentacles, which talks about collaboration and diligence going forward. The sense here is, yeah, we got stabbed in the back and we're quite frustrated by it in our path. But we're just going to keep moving forward. In fact, we're going to make outlets here. Yeah, there's a sense of scheming to like another one in protection here. To create I'm getting like a circle of people like that we're going to tell about this person that did us wrong. We're going to collaborate with others so that it either doesn't happen again, or I don't know if we're talking vengeance here. We're in Scorpio. That's very emotional. Scorpios can have a tendency to be very emotionally. What do? They sting you, right? They can go outward in vengeance. Is what I was getting. On top of this wishing card, the sense here is that we wish things were different, or we're going after things we're wishing for. They're taking action on things they're wishing for. Yes. Now, on top of that energy, we get the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is interesting because it talks of prosperity, patience, and deep connections. Because we started with prosperity, like, you know, working on our prosperity, right? And we got stabbed in the back somewhere in the middle here. And now we're going to keep going forward, just not as quickly as we were back here. Because back here, we're booting it. Now, all of a sudden, we've slowed down because of this backstabbing process, and we're just trotting forward. Being a little more cautious, a little more aware of what we do and how we do it going forward is what I'm getting here. So yeah, somebody's hurt us, stabbed us, like not literally, but stabbed us in the back to the point where we may not have been watching our back enough, or naive to things that could happen to a degree that now we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go a little slower. We were going full on in our direction here, and now in order to make our wishes come true, we got to slow down a bit here and watch what's going on a little closer. We're looking for prosperity, and we're going to try and be a little more patient because there's some deep things going on, okay? So I'm going to dive into the romantic side here. See what happens. First card. The Knight of Swords. Look at him get on his horse. Well, he's not on his horse, but he likes to create chaos, this guy. He likes to stir up things. He's not on his horse moving anywhere, but he's going to get underneath the truth of the matter. And I feel like whatever happened here to this Scorpio, that this person that stabbed him in the back, the Scorpio, 1, didn't see it coming. 2, never would have expected it from that person, is the sense they're giving me. Now, because of this, they're going to try and get, like, there's something that's, like, they got to get underneath here. And if they have to create chaos to do it, they're going to do that, right? So the next card, this is the romance side. So here we go. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is going out and partying and drinking with her friends and whatnot. There's 3 sets of couples here. 3 sets? Yeah, 3 sets. And is this that card? I'm trying to remember. The sense here is be careful what you do when you're loaded with the drink, because it may be used upon us later, or maybe this is what happened, right? This may have been what happened here, because the scenario is be careful how drunk you get, that you don't make yourself, how do you say, a spectacle in public, right? You lose some dignity here. So this may have been a scenario that came down upon you. I don't know. Something to do with that, either in the future, or that's maybe the heartbreak that we had in the past. Something to do with kind of over drinking to a degree, and needing to watch our step when we do this. Yeah, for peering eyes is what they said, or prying eyes. Next card is the Queen of Wands. Now, there was a Knight of Wands here. Now here's this Queen. She is kind of overviewing her day. She has had a lot of excitement in her life. There's obviously a man, and evidence of a man, a cane and a hat and flowers. He is not in the picture, but she is feeling really great and about the... I can spit it out. Seriously. Oh man. She's feeling really great about what's gone on here for her. And she's excited and just kind of, oh, what a day I've had. So this is the energy. Now, it's interesting to me because I do not feel that this woman has went to this party with that man. So whoever you are in this scenario, whether you're the woman in a fire or a fire type energy, or the man in a swords type energy, whatever, the sense is that we may have, and I do feel a masculine energy from here, going out drinking, oops, with the buddy, what the heck, with the buddies, and something was caught there. A scenario was caught, or truth was told on by a partner. But again, this one's usually happy. Let's continue. On top of this swords guy, who's going to get underneath things if he has to stir up trouble to do it. We get the Lovers. So here we go. So Lovers is about a union physically, right? Cross in between there, signifying, what does it signify? The flames, right? The cross, the trueness of it. There is a trueness here of a connection that is happening. That's interesting. I get a masculine figure here and a feminine, just not together, but that's what it says. So let's go. Okay, so on the 6, on the drink, so we may be in party mode. We may be going out with friends and doing a lot of that stuff, but the sense I get is we're kind of individual. Well, you go with your friends, I'll go with my friends on different nights, whatever, that kind of thing. That's what I'm getting. Anyway, the Wheel of Fortune comes on this card again. Being out in public has a high vibration to change things. Oh, because the Wheel of Fortune is about fate and things that are fated to happen. We may be fated to hit a lover here at some point. Where does that take us? On top of this Queen, we get the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is about waiting. Yeah, there's a female here waiting. but she seems quite happy in that. And the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to continue going forward here into the love side. So again, 18 plus, because some of these cards have raw stuff in it. The Lovers. Okay, what do we get there? The Fool, new direction. Okay, that clarifies. So there's a sense here that we've been heartbroken in a certain area. Could be in a love kind of way. Did we go out drinking with the bunnies and have some kind of a indiscretion with one of these women? And that is faded. But nonetheless, okay, anyway, this is talking about a new direction in a lover kind of way. So we're heading off in a new direction. There's energy to go forward. On the Wheel of Fortune is, look at One of Pentacles. So that is about intimacy. So yeah, this might have been what happened. We went out with the buddies and got all liquored up. And what do you know? Our courage came forth and put us into bed with someone. Wow. Okay, so there's the thing. So it could be that you did this to someone or someone did this to you. You'll have to decide what side of the fence you're on, or maybe both. Who knows? Man, weirder things have happened. So on this Queen, she's kind of been blown away. Again, there's evidence of a partner. Evidence, but he's not there. And I get that highly. That vibration goes through the whole reading no matter. Then we get the Seven of Pentacles, waiting, like waiting on the partner to come home. And they didn't come home because they were out sleeping with someone else. That's the faded thing. Next. Ouch. Four of Pentacles. That's the we need to talk, hun card. Yeah. So, like, he went out with the buddies and jumped into bed with a new beginning. He was tally-ho. Got nothing. Got nothing holding me back. And away he went. And now he's got a partner he's got to talk to. But be aware, their tools are gone. Her Ace of Cups, her heart is gone. So whoever he's talking to, her heart may not be in the mix, and his tools are gone. He doesn't know quite how to deal. So this is interesting. On the Fool in the new direction, we have 22 about choice as well. Doesn't that just nail it? Because there's your choice. Old or new. So there's the stairway, right? And you look, one door is a little more open than the other. I don't know. That's just, they're showing me. One's got a lot more light than the other. But nonetheless, the sense is that we may have had an indiscretion with the buddies, not with the buddies, but with when we went out with the buddies. We may have had someone loosely tied at home that is waiting on us. It may have been one of the nights where, oh, I just stayed at a buddy's place, but it wasn't the buddy's place. It was the girlfriend's place. So on the Ace of Pentacles, what do we get there? We get 21, the obstacle. Now this is interesting to me because this thing, this affair, if you want to call it that, this indiscretion is what they said, corrected me. This indiscretion is faded. Okay. Now we're having blocks in trying to get back with that person somehow, some way. Now I feel the blocks are universal. For what reason? Well, we'll see here as we move forward. Now this is our partner that we have waiting at home. This is talking to this one here. She's got the hat and stuff and don't know where he is. She's waiting on him to come home, and when he comes home we need to talk. And I do feel the woman approaching the man going, okay, we need to talk, like staying out all night kind of thing. Don't pass. Now interestingly enough, we have the 27, which contradicts this energy because this is immediate, in your face, but the sense they're giving me is I gotta go, I gotta run, I'll talk to you, tomorrow. Because 27 is about the letter, and the letter always comes in a form of a slow communication outward. So that's like you'll get a little bit here and a little bit there. That's what they're showing me. So the sense here is that we may want to talk to a partner, but they're not going to be available to talk because they know darn well what the subject is. They know the woman's instinct. So 22 about the choices somebody here has to make, right? Because they're stepping out. We have the Hierophant, which is interesting because that talks of purity of marriage or purity of connection and spirituality within. They're going, look back on the cards. We have this guy that's trying to stir up trouble, right? Trying to get underneath things. And the Lovers. So there's a sense no matter what direction he's going, there's the Lover here for him. But he wants to go in a new direction, or he does go in a new direction that's fated. There's a choice that needs to be made here. And we need to, think from more of a spiritual side of ourselves. We need to think, how do I word that gracefully? Right? I think you can all telepath here. We really have to think with this brain and this brain, our heart brain, instead of our pants brain, if I can put it that way, rated G. The brain in our pants is really not going to lead us to salvation. We need to think purely of where we want to go and what we want to do and who we want to be with. We may have had an indiscretion here, but the sense is that we need to now make a decision out of purity of where we truly want to go. So on the obstacles, it's interesting to me, this may be fated. A new partner, messing around, may be fated, but there's obstacles in the path now, like what's going on. So we get 11, yeah. What is this? Sorry, I gotta look here. 11 is... I gotta look it up. I don't even know what that card is. I know what the energy is, but I gotta look up at the title. Give me a moment here. Holy. My mind goes, you can only hold so much information for so long. Strength, yeah. Okay, so the sense here is, courage, passion, and whatnot. So our passion got the better of us, really, is what happened here with this one night. Got the better of us. It may be maybe an obstacle to try and get this person back in our bed. If we do or we don't. I think we're kind of shell-shocked right now, because I think the sense is the Scorpio knows the partner knows, or whoever is in opposition here knows something, and they're trying to avoid it, so they're just using up all their time trying to avoid. But if they do try and contact this new partner, I feel like there's going to be blocks in the way. We're not going to be available when they're available. They're not going to be available when we are. This kind of thing. Now, this card is truly about Casanova. This woman, in the book, it says this woman was once a man and now is a woman. And he... I don't know. You know what? I'm going to read it from the book because I can't say it in a way that's graceful here. Yeah, 11. So Casanova discovered that Soprano Bellino was in fact a woman. And after having revealed her secret, he fell in love with her and almost managed to marry her. So this woman was pretending to be a man. That's what it was. And he was in passion with her no matter, right? What she was pretending to be. She found out that she truly was a man. So he's overwhelmed with, right? So there's a sense here. And I feel like if we update that scenario, the sense is that we may know we're in a relationship, but we may be kind of passionate about someone, and then somehow maybe, through a guy's night out with the boys, we find out that this other person is feeling for us too, and then we just indulge in that. Boom. We just take it on. Don't even think, right? So that may be what happened there. Now, on the 27, again, need to talk like this. Someone here is trying to nail someone else because they know instinctively that something needs to be said, even if it's just to tap the fingers and say, you can't be going out all night, or whatever. But I feel like the letter is really about short bursts of, we'll get short little answers here and there. We're just not going to have 100% attention because they know what they've done wrong and they're trying to avoid it. So they're not going to sit down with you to have that talk, that long drawn out talk, because they know they ain't got the answers, they don't want to talk, right? So on top of that, ooh, we have the Magician. Now that's interesting because the Magician energy, like if you look here, she is very trusting. She's got her eyes closed. He is behind her in a prime position. He could really do anything to her. He is the Magician. He is the power to do so, to do anything. And she completely and fully trusts him, right? And there's an illumination here that we have someone in our midst that we can completely and fully trust. So where does that fit in the scenario? Did we go outward to this new partner because we knew that our partner fully and completely trusts us, so we took advantage of that? We had power over that, so we abused that power? Is that what happened? Or do we have a mode in our mind where we feel that no matter what, we have the power to gain the upper hand here, and we will do so if need be, no matter what happens, okay? So there's a sense of it going either way. So as I go on the Hierophant there, and again, talking about spirituality, depth of truth, we want to get to the bottom of things. And it's interesting to me, this guy starts on an energy of wanting to get to the bottom of things, and he gets wrangled up in fate. And I feel like he doesn't get the answers he wants. And now all of a sudden he's got stuff he's got to hide. You know, it's kind of weird, the energy I'm getting there, but nonetheless. So 5 on top of the Hierophant, we have the introductions. Yeah, purity. So again, if this new direction is the direction you want to go, you got to think about because there had been an introduction, and physical as well. So there's a sense here of purity between that. So we may have again another mating here where we're in a partnership and we need to go in a new direction, but a decision has to be made, and we're just at the introductory stage. Okay. Okay. So on here, again, I feel there's a sense here, if we try and get close to this person, we have overwhelming passion for them. We try and get close, there's going to be obstacles in our way for some reason, right? And look what happens, right? There is a high attraction here on both ends, I feel so far, both ends. Magnetic. So a lot more pull than we're used to from this person. So this really just overwhelmed us and in a weak moment, right? So now what do we got on the power of the what's his face? The first is the Magician. Holy, it's in my marbles. A little too late. 21 ideas. Okay, so in the meantime, we're going to come up with some kind of ideas, because I feel this guy or girl, really, it could be either way, because they have a woman here and they also have the man depicted. So whatever scenario you're in, there's a sense here that you really can't see any of the cards. So I'll go from again. There's a woman being blown away, right? And it could be a woman, Scorpio, and she's just had a one-night stand with someone. She's blown away by it, right? And then she has a partner with... So, and then 7 of Pentacles about waiting. And the sense I get is whatever relationship is kind of the default relationship, I feel like we're waiting on that, something to blow there. And we may be one of those couples. I don't like being here, so I'm going to go out and have an affair, and then the partners may be doing the same thing. And then there's someone here, we need to talk, the letter, yeah, I'll get you next week. Oh, I don't have time today. God, I'm tired. This kind of thing. The Magician has a lot of power to weasel a lot of things, and in fact, he feels he has power over this woman quite highly. So there's some ideas coming forth in that way to illuminate the process, but I guess we'll have to wait till next week for that. In the meantime, the animal card for the Scorpio is the snake. Creation. Now this is a newer deck here, so I'm gonna, it's interesting to me because in the snake in the Lenormand is really the devious card here, right? So but here it is not so bad. It's a sense of, just give me a minute here, I'm going to read right from the book. Yeah. This is about creation is what, if you can see that. Creation. Now it's interesting to me that is a heart he is wrapped around that's growing trees. That's a heart. They're making me aware. I never would have noticed that in a million, I think. Yeah. It's time to shed your skin and try something new. Well, I'll be darned if he didn't, or she didn't, right? I feel the sense that we went off, we tried something new, there it was. You must understand that to remain stagnant means atrophy. So do not fear your own creative flow. If you have a physical ailment, healing will occur, and if you're capable of big transformation, if you haven't begun, begin. So there's a sense of them nudging you in the new way, but that was the energy I'm getting, but it's really confusing because what they put there is that blockage. That mountain is a blockage. They're like, oh yeah, new direction, oh yeah, good things, but super hot ecstasy, but why are we being blocked from it then? I don't know. So maybe it's in order to deal with the circumstances that we're currently in, to put them to bed in a bad way. Meaning to put it an end so that we can completely go, the decision that needs to be made, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm getting there. So hopefully that helps you, man. These are heavy duty for a week. I don't know. They may linger. They may be in different weeks. I don't know. But the sense here is we need to illuminate the areas these people are confused about. And a lot of times when we jump into new relationships, we may be confused as to keep going in them. And the sense for the Scorpio is that we should go in the new direction here that we've created or has been created for us. We should go. It's we may be blocked. That's a warning. We may be blocked from doing this, but if we make that decision, the choice to leave one and go to another, that is the best way that you can do it, as long as it's all above ground. The push that I'm getting energetically is for the Scorpio to move forward, to leave what they've left behind already, and physically move toward the new direction. So hopefully that helps you make some decisions if you don't know which way to go. Universally, it's aspected, you go forward. So hopefully those help you make some decisions. That is the water signs. Those were the highest rated for this week. So take care, have fun, and be kind, and I will continue to shoot these out until I am done for the week. Take care, have fun, be kind.